fractions. Hello, I'm a web consultant and I'm a freelancer.
Who is this guy? That's me. I'm Alejandro Rodriguez. Nice to meet you. You might have seen an ad, an email. Perhaps you're part of my webconsultant.com community. Either way, you're probably wondering, who's Alejandro Rodriguez? What is webconsultant.com? Why is this dude teaching about business? And why should I even listen? So here is how it all got started. In 2011, I was working at Apple and then I got fired while my wife was pregnant with twins. I was confused, I was lost, I was scared. I had no plan, just an immense amount of pressure. God is so good. I then got a text. Hey Alex, I've got $500, can you build a website? I had no idea how to build a website, but I said yes. I gave it everything I had, and that one website changed my life forever. I started freelancing, I charged $1,200, $1,500, then $3K. Eventually I pitched a $5,000 website where the client said, let me think about it. I ended up coming home discouraged. I told my wife, maybe I should lower my prices. To her response, maybe he wasn't the right fit. 3 months later, that business was shut down. She was right. From that moment on, the next person I charged $5K, and at that moment, $5K became my new standard. In the meantime, I had to do Uber to make ends meet. One moment, please. Is this stop okay? Yep, right here is fine. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give me 5 stars. You got it, bud. While I was waiting for my next ride, I got a ping. Susan's waiting for you. I'm like, yes, a new client. On my way to pick her up, it hit me, wait a minute. This is not my client, this is Uber's client. And as long as I didn't know how to get clients for myself, I will always be a slave to those who knows how. That ride was my last. As soon as I got home, I deleted the app. And I made a decision that I will never depend on someone else's to give me clients. So I made it my mission to learn client acquisition. I invested in courses, programs, mentors. I started charging more and 10K became my new zero. 12 months later, I hit 6 figures. Soon after that, I was hooked. I realized that entrepreneurship was the path to true freedom. Freedom of location, freedom of time, freedom of money. But not just for me, for others too. More on that later. From there, I launched a direct-to-consumer footwear brand named Caballero. I grew a successful e-commerce business. In 2017, I ended up buying the factory that was manufacturing my shoes. That's when I learned what it really meant to run a business. From fulfillment, manufacturing, operations, running a team. I was in the trenches, learning through pain, making tons of mistakes, but it taught me more than any MBA ever could. In 2016, my friend Sammy stopped by my place and said the following: if there's anything you don't want to do, teach me and I'll help. At the time, I was setting up a hosting account, so I recorded a Loom and showed him how. Then another, then another. Soon enough, Sammy knew this business inside out and had his first taste of what web consulting has to offer. In 2017, I asked Sammy to hold it down while I was traveling. When I came back, he picked me up from the airport, handed me a $5,000 check. He had closed a deal on his own. That's when I knew there was something there. I made a Facebook post. Want to learn how to land 5K websites? A bunch of people were interested. I picked 7, and at that point, I had my first paid beta. They all came to my office. Within 30 days, they all had clients. That became the first version of 30-Day Web Agency. What started as a small beta, turned into a course, then a community, then into a mentorship engagement. Eventually, it evolved to what is now webconsultant.com. In 2020, everything changed, and my world was upside down. COVID shut my factory, which meant no production, no sales. We kept paying our team, we depleted our savings, and got into deep debt. Eventually, the factory couldn't sustain it, and we had to file for bankruptcy. That was one of the hardest seasons of my life. I was burned out, I was embarrassed, I was extremely depressed, but that rock bottom gave me clarity. In hindsight, maybe that's why we call it 2020, because it made it very clear for many of us on what's really important. I no longer wanted a big, massive business. I wanted one that specifically gave me joy, energy, and profit. So I shut down the shoe biz and walked away from the factory. That was easier said than done. Before all this, at one point, I was running 4 businesses at once. The web consulting biz, Lost Imagination, the shoe brand, Caballero Wear, the factory, Albriani, and the online education company, 30-Day Web Agency. I was burning out. I was drowning on my own sauce. I told my wife I wasn't feeling right. I ended up seeing a psychiatrist and I was diagnosed with ADHD. Suddenly my whole life made sense. The obsession, the overwhelm, the hyper-focus, the chaos. The diagnosis gave me permission to give myself grace, to understand, and most importantly, to simplify. After walking away from the factory, I leaned fully into web consulting. That year we did $567,000 in revenue with 75% profit margins. It would prove that less is more. That simplicity wins. That focus is a superpower. So I made the clearest decision I've ever made. I shut down everything else and I went all in on webconsulting.com. Today, I help experienced freelancers become web consultants. Not just website builders, not one-off projects chasers, not freelancers looking to stay small or trade their time for money, but those experts who want to build a business that is authentic to them and their expertise. A business that creates joy, energy, and profit. If you're still watching, thank you. From this point forward, every Thursday, I will be dropping a new video where I share real lessons, real systems, the wins and mistakes I am making along the way. So if this is up your alley, if this is your jam, make sure you subscribe. Let's grow together. Again, thanks for watching. Create a beautiful day and I'll see you in the next video.